Welcome to SOS Media, your number one source of the latest news, opinions, and in-depth investigations that dig deeper into today's developing stories around the globe. My fellow R. Kelly supporters and all those that want justice in this great nation America, we definitely know that a person whose identity has been hidden after committing a crime is often referred to as an anonymous or unidentified perpetrator. Additionally, they might be described using placeholder names commonly used to refer to unidentified individuals in legal contexts, just like the government used BOP Officer A. In our common perspective, they may also be called masked or concealed perpetrators if their physical appearance was disguised during, and probably sometime after the commission of the crime. Unmasking a perpetrator whose identity has been concealed presents countless challenges across legal, investigative and societal groups. Initially operating under aliases or pseudonyms, these individuals often evade detection and accountability and thus complicating legal proceedings and evidence chains. When their true identities are eventually revealed, it necessitates meticulous review and verification of evidence to uphold legal standards. We shall never fail to believe that one compelling factor government masked Towanna Ingrim's identity is its unfortunate deep-seated emotional attachment it has with her just because they look at R. Kelly as a common adversary, thus leading it into prioritizing protecting the perpetrator over divulging their identity. We can't also run away from believing that there could be connivance in the crime itself, with a big racket out there in the BOP doing what is not right. We should understand that individuals who are involved in criminal activities alongside the perpetrator may find themselves entangled in a web of deception, motivated by self-preservation to conceal their own culpability. It will also be very interesting to find out if financial considerations may also have come into play, particularly considering the fact that Towanna passed on the stolen information to Tasha K. We can tell this was a financial transaction in which several BOP officers were involved in sharing the proceedings, and were thus probably scared of the legal repercussions if Towanna Ingrim's actions were exposed. Unmasking a concealed perpetrator involves a multifaceted process that blends traditional investigative techniques with modern technological advancements and legal procedures. Forensic analysis of physical evidence, such as DNA samples or fingerprints, serves as a cornerstone in piecing together the perpetrator's identity. This meticulous examination can often yield vital clues that lead investigators closer to their target. We for sure know that there are several investigative methods used to help uncover a perpetrator, though we are not yet sure of how R. Kelly's lead attorney Bonjean did this, but we should know that legal processes such as subpoenas, search warrants and court orders are utilized to compel individuals or entities to provide information or evidence pertinent to the investigation. These legal mechanisms ensure that no stone is left unturned in the pursuit of justice. In essence, the unmasking of a concealed perpetrator is a painstaking process that requires a comprehensive and coordinated approach. By combining traditional investigative methods with modern technology and legal procedures, law enforcement agencies endeavor to identify and apprehend those responsible for the crime, and so did Bonjean. In this particular R. Kelly case, the revelation of BOP Officer A's identity will have undesired consequences for the government and its other employees who have been shielding her. This revelation will definitely provoke a cascade of effects, ranging from emotional turmoil to legal consequences and social repercussions. Foremost among these effects is the sense of betrayal and disillusionment that may overwhelm individuals who had hidden the perpetrator's identity. What once seemed an act of loyalty or protection may now be perceived as a breach of trust, straining relationships and fracturing bonds built on secrecy. Legal ramifications loom large for both the government, BOP staff and Tasha K in concealing the BOP Officer A's identity. Charges of obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting or being an accessory to the crime may carry significant penalties, thrusting individuals into legal proceedings fraught with uncertainty and stress. We can also be sure that social stigma will and has already cast a shadow over U.S. government in general, and the Bureau of Prisons in particular, with the perpetrator's concealment. We the R. Kelly supporters will for sure give them a hard time for their involvement in criminal activity. Personal introspection has for sure followed the unmasking, as all those involved in schemes trying to bring R. Kelly down will confront feelings of guilt and remorse for their actions. The realization of the consequences of their choices will weigh heavily on their conscience. Fear of retaliation will add another layer of anxiety as the government grapples with the possibility of retribution from the perpetrator and her BOP associates. Now, let us all realize the fact that a good lawyer is one that can talk you through your options and possible next steps regarding your case. They can also help you collect any relevant information or documents that you will need for the case and give you valuable advice. I really believe this is the valuable and good service Jennifer Bonjean is giving R. Kelly, and we supporters should therefore bless it. We remain very sure that R. Kelly's descent into this bleak despair began when he first learned of the insidious breach of his privacy. It was a revelation that shattered whatever semblance of trust he had left in the system. His lawyer Jennifer Bonjean, who is a tenacious advocate for his rights, had unearthed damning evidence suggesting that officers within the prison had been illicitly accessing and disseminating his private information through the institution's TrueView system. The emotional toll exacted by the government officers' negligence weighed heavily on R. Kelly's shoulders, casting a dark shadow over every aspect of his life, including his trial. The breach of privacy, the dissemination of his personal information to the public, and the subsequent fallout have inflicted profound emotional distress upon him, leaving scars that ran deep. The lawsuit they filed against the government for sure sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. It was a bold move, one that demanded answers and accountability in equal measure. For R. Kelly and his supporters, it was about more than just seeking recompense for the harm he had suffered, but also about reclaiming his dignity and restoring his faith in the rule of law. As the trial progresses, R. Kelly's emotional anguish will serve as a potent reminder of the need for accountability and reform within the criminal justice system. His plight underscores the devastating impact that breaches of privacy can have on individuals caught in the crosshairs of the law, serving as a clarion call for greater vigilance and oversight to prevent similar injustices in the future. As we continue to witness new developments occurring towards R. Kelly's appeal proceedings, we can just stay optimistic that this time around, the relevant truth will be put into consideration. This is the ray of hope that makes us keep our breath and hold. We believe R. Kelly and his legal team will be able to outline all the injustices, misinterpretations of the law, cases of lying and witness tampering that have marred all R. Kelly's legal proceedings, and that the law, truth and justice will this time along prevail. It has been a long wait, and we can't wait any longer to see R. Kelly regain his deserved freedom. Thank you for watching today's video brought to you by SOS Media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Also remember to leave your comment about today's topic in the comment section below.